LEGO just reported record first-half revenue of 41.9 billion Danish krone, roughly $6.5 billion, up 21% from a year earlier. Consumer sales climbed 22%, operating profit increased 22%, and net profit jumped 32%. Even more impressive, LEGO grew faster than the global toy market and gained market share. But the reason is not simply that children suddenly started buying more plastic bricks. LEGO has spent years quietly expanding the definition of who its customer actually is. Today, it is selling Formula One cars to racing fans, World Cup trophies to football fans, Pokémon to gamers, flowers to adults, Star Wars models to collectors, and increasingly expensive display pieces to people who may never think of themselves as toy buyers at all. That is the business strategy behind LEGO's current growth. The company has transformed one of the simplest products imaginable, a standardized plastic brick, into a platform that can absorb almost any interest, franchise, sport, hobby, or cultural trend. And because the underlying system remains largely the same, LEGO can keep entering new markets without having to reinvent the core product every time. Think about how unusual that is. Most toy companies depend heavily on individual characters or entertainment franchises. A movie becomes popular, toys sell for a few years, then children move on. LEGO can participate in those same trends while keeping its own brand at the center. A Star Wars LEGO set is still recognizably LEGO. A Formula One car is still LEGO. A Pokémon set is still LEGO. The licensed intellectual property attracts the customer, but the brick system keeps LEGO's identity intact. That distinction has become extremely valuable. In the first half of 2026, LEGO launched more than 330 new products. Its strongest themes included both proprietary franchises and licensed properties, with LEGO Speed Champions, Botanicals, Technic, Icons, and Star Wars among the best sellers. At the same time, partnerships with Formula One, the FIFA World Cup, Pokémon, and K-pop Demon Hunters helped bring completely different groups of consumers into the brand. The Formula One strategy is a good example. LEGO began expanding its F1 partnership before the current reporting period, creating sets connected to teams and cars, while also promoting the brand directly at Grand Prix events. The goal is bigger than selling race cars to children. Formula One has become a global entertainment product with a large adult fan base, helped by streaming, social media, and growing interest in the United States. LEGO can now monetize that fandom in physical form. Instead of buying another t-shirt, poster, or scale model, a fan can spend several hours building the car. That changes the value proposition. LEGO is not only selling the finished object, it is selling the experience of assembling it. This is one reason adult customers matter so much. A child may receive a modest LEGO set as a birthday present. An adult collector may willingly spend hundreds of dollars on a detailed car, building, spaceship, piece of art, or display model. LEGO now offers products explicitly designed for adults across themes such as architecture, art, cars, plants, films, television, and gaming. Some sets contain thousands of pieces and are priced more like premium hobbies than ordinary toys. The Pokémon portfolio shows how aggressively LEGO is moving in that direction. Several products launched this year are explicitly marked for adults, including a Rayquaza set priced around $130 and a large Piquet ball display set priced around $300. Pokémon may have started as a children's franchise, but millions of people who grew up with it now have adult incomes. LEGO can sell nostalgia back to those consumers in premium physical form. That is a powerful demographic strategy. Instead of losing customers when they grow up, LEGO can follow them. A child may begin with LEGO City, a teenager might buy Technic or Star Wars. An adult might move into Icons, Botanicals, Architecture, Formula One, or premium licensed sets. Later, that same adult may buy LEGO for their own children. The customer relationship can theoretically last decades. This helps explain why LEGO has been able to grow despite operating in a mature toy industry. In 2025, its consumer sales already grew 16%, more than twice as fast as the broader toy market. Revenue reached a record 83.5 billion Danish krone, while operating profit rose 18%. The company then accelerated further in the first half of 2026. But expanding the customer base is only one part of the strategy. LEGO is also dramatically increasing the number of reasons someone might enter the brand. Someone may not care about LEGO itself. They may care about Ferrari or football, or Star Wars or flowers, or Pokémon or Harry Potter's. LEGO's job is to turn that existing passion into demand for bricks. CEO Niels Christiansen described these as new passion points. The idea is simple: Find something consumers already love and build a Lego experience around it. Formula One brought motorsport fans. World Cup products brought football fans. Pokémon attracted another enormous community. K-pop Demon Hunters reportedly performed especially well with girls. This is almost the opposite of how a traditional toy company thinks. Instead of asking, how do we convince more people to like our toy? Lego can ask, what do people already like and how do we turn that into Lego? The standardized brick makes this strategy unusually scalable. A fashion company entering 10 new cultural categories may need entirely different manufacturing processes for each one. Lego can redesign shapes, colors, instructions, packaging, and licensing, while much of the fundamental production system remains the same. The brick becomes a universal interface between Lego and popular culture. That creates operational advantages too. Lego can launch hundreds of new sets every year while using a common manufacturing base. In the first half of 2025, it launched 314 new sets, then more than 330 in the first half of 2026. This constant product turnover gives consumers reasons to return, while reducing dependence on any single blockbuster theme. The portfolio is deliberately broad. If Star Wars weakens, Formula One may grow. If one movie franchise disappoints, botanicals can attract adults who have no interest in entertainment licensing. Lego also owns powerful internal properties such as Ninjago, which celebrated its 15th anniversary this year, and remains one of the company's longest-running homegrown franchises. Owning some intellectual property while licensing others gives Lego another advantage. Licensed franchises create instant demand, but Lego must share economics with the rights holder. Proprietary franchises give Lego more control. A balanced portfolio lets the company benefit from globally famous entertainment brands without becoming completely dependent on them. Lego is also moving beyond the box itself. During the first half of 2026, it bought 29 Lego and Legoland Discovery Centers from Merlin Entertainments for 1.9 billion Danish krone. Those locations attract roughly 5 million visitors annually. Lego now operates more than 1,100 branded stores worldwide and continues adding interactive retail experiences. This matters because Lego is becoming an experience business as well as a product business. A company-owned store is not merely a place to sell bricks. It can launch products, host displays, generate social media content, strengthen customer loyalty, and give Lego greater control over presentation. Discovery centers add another layer by turning the brand into something families physically visit. The more time consumers spend inside the Lego ecosystem, the less Lego has to compete purely on price against other toys. Technology is being added to the same system. Lego launched Smart Play in 2026, introducing interactive features into physical sets, initially through brands including Star Wars and Pokémon. The company is trying to add digital interaction without abandoning the physical brick that made it successful. That balance is critical. Many traditional toy companies have worried that smartphones and video games would replace physical play. Lego has instead tried to make digital culture a source of new demand. Video games create characters that can become sets. Online fandom creates communities that buy collectibles. Interactive technology can be added to bricks rather than replacing them. In that sense, the internet may have strengthened Lego more than weakened it. Social media makes elaborate builds shareable. Adult collectors can find communities online. New franchises spread globally faster. A set can become both a physical product and a piece of content. But Lego's growth also creates risks. The first is price. As the company moves further into adult collecting, many flagship sets cost hundreds of dollars. That increases revenue per customer, but can also make Lego feel less accessible. If economic conditions weaken, premium discretionary purchases can be among the first things consumers postpone. The second risk is franchise overload. Hundreds of launches and dozens of partnerships create excitement, but too many products can make the portfolio confusing. Lego must continuously decide which cultural trends have lasting value and which are temporary. A licensing agreement attached to the wrong franchise can leave expensive inventory on shelves. There is also a cost problem. Lego's bricks are plastic, and Reuters reported that higher oil prices have increased plastic costs. The company says it has managed those pressures partly through productivity and growing use of renewable and recycled materials. Lego increased the amount of non-fossil material used in its products and continues investing heavily in alternative materials and sustainability. Manufacturing itself is becoming more global. LEGO is building a new factory and distribution center in Virginia, scheduled to open in 2027. The company says locating production closer to major markets improves supply chain efficiency. It is also investing in existing factories and opened a large manufacturing innovation center in Denmark this year. That investment tells us something about management's expectations. LEGO is not behaving like a company expecting the current growth to disappear next year. It is adding factories, stores, experiences, technology, and production capacity because it believes the addressable market has become much larger than children's toys. And that is ultimately the most important part of the story. LEGO did not achieve 21% revenue growth by inventing a completely new core product. The brick is still the brick. What changed is everything around it. The company expanded from children to adults, from toys to collectibles, from original themes to global entertainment licenses, from retail shelves to branded stores and experiences, from cars and spaceships to flowers, art, sports, television, gaming, and nostalgia. Each new category gives LEGO another doorway into the same ecosystem. That is why Formula 1, Pokémon, and the World Cup matter far beyond the individual sets they sell. They demonstrate the scalability of LEGO's real business model. LEGO does not need every person to love LEGO first. It needs to discover something they already love. Then it turns that passion into bricks.